What's going on, guys? Gomes here back again on another MLB The Show 19 Diamond Dynasty video. It's been a while since I talked about more so budget cards within this game, so I want to do that again because I think there's been a lot of great budget options that have released recently. Of course, the new ranked seasons came out yesterday. I did not upload a video on it, but Troy Tulowitzki and Ty Cobb are the brand new ranked seasons rewards for the month of July/August. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Quickly, I do want to say, obviously, that there are free diamond cards that you can get within moments. Of course, within like the storylines, you can get like a Diamond Griffey for the Sony partners. You guys can get like a free 95 signature Adam Wainwright and stuff like that, but those are all within the moments section. And then also keep in mind that team affinities are also available. They're about 10,000 stubs and two hours of grinding in order to get any affinity diamond that you guys want, whether it be, you know, 87 overall Zach Britton, 89 overall Jose Reyes, any of those guys. Of course, just watch my team affinity video, which will be right there. But getting onto the ones that you guys can actually buy on the market, we're going to go in 3 tiers. 1 for 6.5, or really about 5,000 stubs, like the quick sell value, as cheap as you're going to find diamonds. Then 12.5, about 10k, and 24.5, about 20,000. So without further ado, let's get right into it. As always, I want to emphasize, make sure to put in buy orders. I mean, it could only be like 1,000 stubs, but take 6.1 in order and compare to 5.1. That's 1,000 stubs. 1,000 stubs is not something to sneeze at, and it definitely does add up as time goes on. But the first guy I want to look at right here is Matt Harvey. He did just get released yesterday with the new cards. This card is really nice for the price. 94 stamina, 86 hit 9, 90 K9, 85 walk 9, 82 home runs per 9, 86 velo, 83 break, 4 pitches, fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. That's not anything fancy. That's pretty much like the most basic pitch repertoire for a starting pitcher, but he does throw upwards to 98 and 99 miles per hour, which is very nice to see, especially on those lower difficulties. Once you're in the lower ratings, a lot of people seem to have trouble catching up to those. So I think high velocity pitchers like Matt Harvey are very effective. I've used him in the past, like in 18, 17, the show, and he is a very solid starting pitcher that you guys can get basically for quick sell value. So there's really no point not to get this card if you are in need of another diamond starting pitcher. Here we have the 87 overall diamond Jason Kendall, 91 120 contact. He doesn't have the most power, only 40 versus righties, 60 versus lefties. 120 60 splits is definitely enough to hit some home runs, and then about 99 vision as well. 74 fielding, 85 blocking. I think that's really the most important attribute for catchers. You know, you can really go on about whether or not defensive ratings even matter for catchers, because I don't think the fielding has ever really made that much of a difference for me. As long as you have like above 70, you're going to catch pop flies and so on and so forth. But he also has 76 speed, 73 stealing, which is a luxury to have for a catcher. Can really help you get to some more balls, and then of course it's always nice to have speed on the base pass. This guy, I've not really used him myself, but I faced him a lot, and he's a hitting machine, especially versus lefties. He hits absolutely everything, about 100 vision, then 120 contact, very nice. And once you get that 76 speed on base, can definitely cause some havoc. By this time, you guys know George Springer is definitely one of my favorite cards in the game. My stats with him speak for themselves, hitting 441, 915 slug, 6 home runs, 10 doubles. Very nice statistics with him. Good hitting stats, 78, 86 contact, 80, 94 power, 61 vision. He's pretty much always up on inside edge, 70 speed. The only problem with this card is the 61 fielding. Of course, if you guys don't know, if you do put him in a secondary position, that is going to drop below 60, which means he's going to have common defense, which I would definitely not recommend. 70 speed is enough to get to balls in center field. He's not the best defensive card out there, but at lower ratings, I think he can get the job done. And for about 5.2k, there's no reason not to get him. The other new ranked seasons card that came out with Jake McGee right here. Of course, my Tampa Bay Rays, no bias here though. 103 hit 9, 95 K9, 79 walk 9, 78 home runs per 9. Only 3 pitches of fastball, slider, curveball, but those are good 3 pitches to have. The curveball comes in at about 80, and he can throw 97, 98 miles per hour on that fastball. The reason why he is so valuable is because he's a lefty reliever that you guys can get for about 5,000 stubs. I used him last year. He had one of those position programs, I do believe, and he's actually pretty good. I think he definitely plays above that 86 overall rating. So if you guys need a lefty reliever out of your pen, Jake McGee, very cheap and very good option. And lastly, for this budget, I could not make this video without naming Chipper Jones. You guys would crucify me for it. 108, 125 contact, 78, 54 power, 86 vision, 63 fielding, 59 reaction, 44 speed. You might think that fielding is bad, but no. I face this guy a lot. A lot of people still use him even this far on in the game, and he does just fine over there at third base. Hits absolutely everything, a switch hitter. 100 plus contact, maxed out versus lefties, and then 78, 54 power, 86 vision. It's enough power to hit the gaps, and 44 speed. It's not great, but he does hit a lot of doubles against me, really hits the gap regularly. So that amount of contact, the switch hitting ability for 5,000 stubs, and this guy has one of the best swings you're really going to find. People are still using this card on their main teams. People that have like 93s everywhere still have this 87 Chipper Jones. That really speaks for itself. Now let's move on to the 12,000 or more so 10,000 budget. The first guy I want to look at is Max Muncy. The second this card came out, I knew this was going to be a budget beast. 71, 86 contact, 100 power per side, 66 vision, 85 fielding, 84 reaction, 58 speed at second base. For a lefty power bat, this is the best budget option you're going to find at second base, hands down. 100 power per side and great fielding as well. If you put him at first, he's still going to have gold defense, and even at third base, he's going to do really nice. 89 arm, so he's going to have no trouble getting balls from third base over to first. Very well-rounded card and about 60 speed. This Max Muncy, a budget masterpiece. This is definitely going to be more of a bench bat. We have Ryan Braun right here. 125, 114 splits versus lefties. He is a lefty killer. One of the best you're going to find in this game. He only has 58 vision, but I think that contact really does make up for it. And 75 contact and power per righties, which isn't great, but it's not awful either. 49 fielding is awful. He does have common defense. He is not good defensively over at third, which is why I think he's more of a bench bat, but he also has 74 speed. So if you can get him on, hit the gap at the double, he does have some speed. He can run in open field. And then, like I said, a lefty killer for 7,000 stubs. One of the best one of the best versus lefty bench bats you're going to find in the game. They like to call him 100 Miles Giles. Ken Giles, I think he was one of the inning program rewards. I think it was the second inning, so his price has risen a little bit, but a lot of people still use him because he's so damn good. 95 hit 9, 109 K9, 66 walk 9, 89 home runs per 9, which is good. About 90 definitely can keep the ball in the ballpark. He throws a fastball, a slider, and a changeup. We were talking about Jake McGee's pitch repertoire. A changeup is also very nice to have to mix speeds. Of course, out of the hand looks very similar to a fastball, but of course comes in a lot slower. He's going to throw almost triple digits on that fastball, 99, 100 miles per hour, and then that changeup about a 12 mile per hour, 13 mile per hour differential, which is nice for an 86 overall card. And he just throws absolute gas. He's very tough to hit. I really dread facing this guy, even in like championship series on Hall of Fame, because he is just so good for 7.8k. Very nice budget reliever. Speaking of relievers, we're gonna go with Fernando Rodney right here, another Tampa Bay Ray. They've really come out with some great pitchers. However, hitting is usually the Rays' problem. 107 hit 9, 85 K9, 77 walk 9, 90 home runs per 9, 118 pitch and clutch, which means if they get runners on base, it's going to be easier for you to work out of the jam and get the outs and not let them continue the rally, which is very nice. 95 break, and of course you guys know he throws really hard. About 100 miles per hour on that 4-seam fastball, 96 on that 2-seam, and then a very good differential from that fastball to the circle change. I think that is definitely his best pitch. Very deceptive, moves 15 miles per hour slower, and a lot of break on that circle changeup as well. And then also has a nice wipeout slider. This Fernando Rodney is always one of my personal favorite cards that they release in Diamond Dynasty for relievers, and for a 10,000 stub price point, very nice. And then our last card at this price point is going to be All-Star Michael Brantley. These All-Star cards are really a very great value. And Michael Brantley, 102, 103 contact, 75, 80 power, 111 vision. So over 100 contact per side and 110 plus vision. 75 fielding, 76 arm strength, which is not great. But in left field, you can definitely hide. You always talk about where can I hide an outfielder with not great statistics fielding-wise. It's definitely left field. You don't have to make as far throws. So 76 arm strength is not going to really hinder Michael Brantley. 44 speed is not great, but once again, left field, if you talk about, if you're playing it like Fenway, usually left field is the shortest porch, so that's a pretty good thing. That's where you want a slower, not so good outfielder, in my opinion, and he has a really nice lefty swing. I've always enjoyed his cards. Last year, I used his flashback. I think it was in the ticket counter, or it might have been a POTM card, actually, but he always has a nice swing, and this time comes with more power than he usually has. 100 plus contact, 111 vision. Very nice left fielder, lefty bat. And finally, our last price point. This is going to be about 20,000 stubs if you guys put in an order at the max. And the first guy we're going to talk about is Keith Hernandez. I was really a fan of this card from as soon as I saw him in the signature pack. 114, 110 contact, 70, 69 power, so 70 power per side. Close to maxed out vision, 117, 110 batting clutch, 94 fielding, 83 reaction at first. That's the best defensive first baseman you're going to see. Then 62 speed, also an anomaly having speed over at first base. Very nice. There's nothing bad to say about this card. If you guys have used like the Wade Boggs, for example, it plays very similar except better defense, and I think just a better card in general. Not the most power, but definitely enough to hit home runs, and then so much contact, so much vision. This Keith Hernandez at 15K. If you don't have Frank Thomas, you should have Keith Hernandez. Just came out in the 5th inning program. Here we have Garrett Anderson, brand new legend into Diamond Dynasty. 111, 109 contact, 111 vision. So once again, over 100 contact, actually over 110 contact per side and over 110 vision. 81, 77 power, 72 fielding, 78 arm. Once again, that's left field. You can kind of hide guys out there. 72 fielding is not bad at all. That's still good for silver defense. Then 57 speed. So he does have more than Michael Brantley, about 60. So he's not bad at all defensively. Definitely is going to get the job done. I wouldn't recommend to play him anywhere but left field though. I don't think you should move him to center because then he's going to drop down to bronze defensively, which you don't really want. But hitting wise, a great lefty bat once again. Is very well rounded. 110 contact per side, 110 vision, and then 80 power per side about. Very nice, very solid card, no weaknesses. And if power is more your side, you don't really want Keith Hernandez, Eddie Murray is another great guy that you guys can get. Very nice defensively over at first, 84 fielding. It's very rare to see guys with over 80 defense over at first, so Eddie Murray definitely fits the bill, and 74 reaction as well. He is a switch hitter, which is very valuable in my opinion. 92, 79 contact, 95, 88 power, 82 vision, 44 speed. This Eddie Murray, once again, very well rounded, not bad speed. 44 is definitely not any slouch, and then good defensively, 95, 88 power per side, a switch hitter. Eddie Murray for about 16K. You can debate which one you would rather have. It depends really if you want power or contact on your team. If you want contact, Keith Hernandez. If you want power, Eddie Murray. Another 5th inning card, Jack Morris, a 95 overall starting pitcher for this price point, is very nice. 120 stamina. He's going to pitch deep into ball games, which I find very effective because if you only have like 90 stamina, if you have like 90 pitches, you're pretty much going to be worn out. But 120 stamina, you can pretty much go the whole game with Jack Morris unless you throw like 150 pitches. 93 hit 9, 93 K9, 79 walk 9, 84 home runs per 9, 115 pitch clutch, which we already talked about, is very good to have. Four-seam fastball, forkball, slider, and a changeup. Throws about 95 miles per hour, and that forkball is very underrated. I've used guys like Lee Smith. That forkball is very nice. It's kind of like a splitter on steroids, I might even call it. And then a very good differential from that four-seamer to the changeup. The forkball and changeup are pretty similar in actually like how they break, but the changeup moves 10 miles per hour slower to Jack Morris, so you can really mix speeds with him. For 16.5K, a 95 overall starting pitcher, you can't beat it. And then finally, my favorite budget catcher in the game is Russell Martin. He's the guy I'm still using. 24 at bats, hitting 500, 917 slug, 3 home runs with him. Very small sample size, but I really liked his swing swing is so damn good. A smaller strike zone, he hits absolutely everything. 84, 86 contact, 79, 83 power, 93 vision, 85 fielding, 90 arm strength, 88 blocking, 64 speed. Rare to have speed at catcher. Once again, 64 is one of the best you're going to find at catcher besides like Jason Kendall. Elite defensively, 88 blocking, 90 arm strength, throws out a lot of runners for me. 93 vision, then 85 contact per side, 80 plus power per side. He is the, you know, picture perfect, well-rounded catcher that you're going to find for under 20k. Of course, you guys are going to notice patterns. Usually the ranked seasons cards at the pennant race value, the 500 ranking, those cards are usually pretty cheap and they're good. The signature series cards in the base tier are usually cheap as well. That's where you find Keith Hernandez and Russell Martin, and also the 100 and 200 program star packs for the inning programs are also cheap as well. That's where Jack Morrison and Garrett Anderson are. So there is really a lot of value. Hopefully you guys are going to use some of these guys, and let me know down below in the comment section who are your favorite budget guys that you've gotten to use so far this year. Like I said, I've really liked that Russell Martin. I'm still using the Team Affinity Jose Reyes. A lot of these budget guys are just doing really well for me, and I cannot replace them. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like down below. Hope you guys have a great day. There, guys. Out.